We're back with our second episode featuring Plaint of Nature by Alan of Lille, or Lee. Why do I have this? I don't know. The Plaint of Nature, De Planctu Naturae, is perhaps or however they say it. I don't know the conventions for pronouncing this kind of Latin. It's perhaps the most influential work of Alan of L. References to it are to be found in later writers down to and including Chaucer. It's a weird sentence. Natura, which fascinated so many writers in the Middle Ages, reaches full stature when she is given a moral dimension here in the work of Alan of L. The present work consists of an introduction, a translation, a bibliography, and an index. The introduction contains a short life of Alan with abundant notes, and a list of his work with a short summary of the contents of each. This is followed by a discussion of the date of composition of the plaint, its background, philosophical and literary, its contents, and the various possible interpretations of the text. Further, in the translation itself, an attempt is made to provide a faithful rendering of Alan in readable English, and to this end some 600 explanatory notes have been added to support the rendering. The bibliography lists some 250 items and attempts to include all available literature bearing on the interpretation of the author. All available literature bearing on the interpretation of the author. Thank you, Pontifical Institute of Medieval Studies, 59 Queen's Park Crescent East, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, M5S2C4. Plaint of Nature. Translation and commentary by James J. Sheridan. I don't know I have it. I don't know. What's even stranger than that I have this book is that I've been reading, I was reading it at one point. I mean, I remember that I've read it, parts of it, possibly the whole thing, but it seems that I've read the whole thing. But, I don't really remember what it was about very much. But it's got underlining. The common belief was that a panther gorged himself, slept for 3 days, awoke and belched, giving forth a very sweet smell which attracted all animals except the dragon. Underlined that. It's even in a footnote. So I was really reading this. It's from And then I have notes in the front. Explained to the point where it makes no sense, is nothing. Whether or not that is a note about this or not, I don't know, but... There the bear, bringing forth with difficulty her shapeless offspring through the portals of her nose, fashioning them by licking them over and over with the stylus of her tongue, gave them an improved appearance. The fuck? There the lamprey, pierced with many a window-like opening, was studiously working on prologues to Passion for Diners. There a Sirenian, a fish in the loins, was seen to have a human face. What is a Sirenian? There's a note, but it gives citations, but it does not offer an explanation. There the ostrich, rejecting life in a busy world, leading a life of solitude, turned hermit, so to speak, haunted the desert's wilderness. There nature rained down on the peacock a flood of beauty so great that you would think that she herself lived a beggar afterwards. The partridge fares ill in Pliny. There's their other citations too. Emphasis is laid on his sexual excesses and aberrations. I have translated the word as meadow pipit, P-I-P-I-T, for no better reason than that, I remember from my boyhood that the cuckoo's preference for this bird's nest caused the meadow pipit to be called, oh, Irish, I guess, the cuckoo's nurse. Thank you. Another episode, I'm sure, will be coming shortly your way.